All right, we are here for another workout. Same as usual, full body functional workout. We'll cover a little bit of everything and I'll talk you through it as we go. First circuit we're going to do is using, this is called a pec deck machine. You can use it for chest and upper back. We're going to use it for both ways, and then we're going to do a lateral lunge. So let's get started. So now when doing a fly, always keep a slight bend in the elbow. You never want to be locked out in your elbows. The stronger you get, the more likely you are to hyperextend that joint if you once you start going heavier. So always protect your joints. Keep a slight bend in the elbow. Have your grips. You're going to have to adjust the seat height. Have the grips about mid-chest level, so right across here. You don't want it up too high. You probably can't set it too low, or can't get yourself too low, but mid-chest, I want you to just squeeze and back. Pretty much just forward 2 count, back 2 count. You're not doing any sort of power movement on this one, so there would be no reason to squeeze 1 second out, 3 seconds back, or any of that. Just nice and smooth. Just really working on that chest. I'm going to get a couple extra. Again, anywhere from 12 to 15 reps. Get that burn going. Alright, now we're going to get upper back. So I'm going to rotate these all the way forward. Obviously adjust the weight because you should not be as strong on your upper back as you are your chest. A lot smaller muscle group. This time you do want to pretty much lock out the elbows. You don't have to, but you can because the force is different. And the amount of weight you're going to be using is different as well. Keep those shoulders down. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm keeping my shoulders locked down, lats engaged, like we've talked about before. I don't want to see you hiking up like this and using your traps and leaning all into it. That's not how we do this one. We want to make sure we're getting your rear delt and your rhomboids and all those other muscle groups like your lats and your traps. Those are strictly being used isometrically just to hold everything in place. You don't want them to be the primary movers. Now we're going to do a lateral lunge. So now you don't have to hold weight on this. You can just do body weight. I'm choosing to use weight. Goblet style to my chest. Notice as I lunge out, I'm keeping this hip, knee, and foot, ankle, all 3 joints in alignment. This leg extends. It's just straight. If you don't feel comfortable with this movement, what you can do is you can back a bench up behind you and you can literally lunge out, sit down, or tap the bench. That way you have some guidance. Almost there. There we go. Alright, that was the first circuit. Pec deck fly, pec deck rear delt, lateral lunge. We got 2 more circuits to go. I'll see you in a second. Okay, second circuit in this workout. Doing a power push-up, something called a 2-point row, and just weighted step-ups. Power push-up. Only do this if you can do push-ups with ease. I want to be able to give a little bit for everybody on all these workouts, so we will have some stuff that's a little bit too advanced. You can always regress the movements. So only do these if you can do regular push-ups with ease, and if you feel like you have enough explosive power on top of that. form in this is really important. You got to keep your core really engaged, your shoulders down, everything where it's supposed to be. If you can't do this one right, it's not worth it, because the amount of damage you'll do to your joints or potential for injury or even muscle detachment, it's just not worth it. All right. Then we're doing a 2-point row, like I said. That's a real core engaging one. It's fantastic. It's one of my favorites. And then just basic step ups. So let's get started. Power push up first. Like I said, core engaged, shoulders down. If you can't do this with good form, and regular push-ups are not really easy for you, it's just not worth it. But if you can do it, I love these. There we go. All right, this next one, 2-point row. I recommend trying this on the ground first. It's going to limit your range of motion, but that's the point. If you can't do it on the ground pretty securely, you're not going to want to do it suspended off a bench. So, knees under your hips, hands directly under your shoulders. Whichever side you decide to do first, you're going to grip, really grip the bench to lock yourself in place and anchor yourself. Extend that same leg out, and then with this arm, you're doing the row. Having that leg kicked out straight like that is really locking in your glutes to help keep your spine engaged and straight. So is gripping this side of the bench. You're not going to be able to use as much weight as you typically would with a different kind of row, because like I said, this is really challenging your core. You're using a lot of muscle groups in this. And I don't know if you could tell, but I was only coming down so far, and we've talked about this before, where my lat was still engaged. You don't want to disengage. That's why I recommend doing this on the floor first. If it's easy on the floor, then take it to the bench. There we go. Weighted step-ups. These aren't that bad. You can do weighted body weight. You can also use different heights of steps, or even use stairs. Most stairs I don't think are more than 5 or 6 inches. Some of it could depend on your height. Some of it will depend on the range of motion that you feel comfortable with. So be willing to modify. Try also to alternate evenly. A lot of people will get to where they're doing weird stuff and you end up being more one leg dominant. So I try and teach people step up and just tap. That way you don't get off in your footing and which one is doing what. This is a very easy exercise to become one side dominant. And on something like this, you probably didn't notice on the lateral lunge I did earlier, but you don't have to go 12 reps each leg. I kind of go till I'm burning. I usually try and shoot for at least 8 each. But anytime you're doing 2 sides independently, some of the rules aren't going to apply. All right, there's that circuit. We got one more to go. I'll be back. All right, guys, the third and final circuit. We're going to do a bicep, tricep, and some core work. We're going to do a standing barbell curl, skull crusher for triceps using the same bar, and then I'm going to demonstrate a plank and a side plank. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to do the plank and side plank off the bench so everything's within camera view rather than trying to change angles for the 3 different exercises. We're doing a standing, laying down, and the other one would be on the floor. So, but you can use a bench. For some people, these planks and side planks are going to be plenty of challenging off a bench. You wouldn't even have to take it to a floor, but that is an option. So, standing curl. Try not to rock. Go nice and slow. Keep those elbows locked in by your side. Keep your core engaged. Full range of motion. I don't want to see any of this halfway stuff. We don't do that. You'll limit your range of your strength and your range of motion. 2 more. Now we got a skull crusher. I mentioned this before, and I'll say it again. You can come right down by your forehead and do a traditional skull crusher. For some of you, that's going to bother your elbow. It does me a little bit. So if I come back and put more of a stretch on my arm and come behind my head, it takes some of that pressure off and it doesn't seem to bother me. So that's an option. All right. Planks and side plank. I'm going to kind of rotate through it, so I'll actually start with the side plank, do a regular plank, and then to the other side. And this is usually just for time, so you can have a stopwatch. Notice I'm staying nice and linear. You don't want to sag here. You don't want to be way up here. And if you do this on the floor, you can do it from your feet, or you can anchor from your knees. Some of you guys can't hold your body weight up, and that's fine. I'm just going till I burn because I'm not using the clock. But shoot for 20 seconds as an initial goal, then go to 30. If you can do more than that, great, but shoot 20 seconds as the original plank. Like I say, stay nice and rigid. Keep that core engaged. Keep your hips tucked forward a little bit. Keep that back straight. Shoulders down. Chin tucked so your cervical spine stays straight as much as it can. You don't want all that forward head action. Long term, that does a lot of damage. Now the other side. Alright, so like usual, beginners, 2 sets of those 3 different circuits. Go 3 to 4 for you more advanced. As heavy or as light as you want. And remember, you can modify everything. So keep doing good. I'll keep posting these videos. You guys give me some input too. I do want some feedback now that we've gone into this a little bit. If you guys want more sports specific stuff that I can add into some of this, which I will add later on down the road anyway. For now it's just general fitness. But if you want stuff that you can only do from home using nothing but a chair or the floor, I can do that stuff too. So you guys email me and let me know. Otherwise, keep putting up the good work and I'll see you next time.